Femi, his voice steady but laced with urgency, asked, "What is this place, and how do you know her?" The old man replied with a chuckle that sounded like rustling leaves. "This is where time breaks open to let memories pass freely, like water through a cracked pot. She left something for you, a token from the past." Sliding forward a sealed envelope across the counter, the back inscribed with, "Do not open unless you're ready to leave everything behind, for the wind demands sacrifice." Baba Alagbita's background was that of a former blacksmith who had witnessed Adukura's curse ritual as a young man, blinded by a flash of supernatural energy from the backlash, now serving as a guardian of temporal artifacts in his shop, which acted as a nexus point in Yoruba myths of time as a river that can be diverted. The shop's origin lay in colonial times as a repair center, transformed by the curse into a magical hub, and its closure in providing the envelope that advanced the plot. That night, back in his apartment bathed in warm lamplight, Femi opened the envelope with trembling hands, the air around him bending and warping like heat waves over hot asphalt, the walls fading into transparency, the ceiling rippling like the surface of a disturbed pond. The room morphed seamlessly into Adukura's sitting room from 1952, complete with sepia-toned photographs on the walls depicting family gatherings, and a red kerosene lamp casting flickering shadows. There she sat at a wooden desk carved with Yoruba motifs, pen in hand, murmuring to herself unaware of his presence. "I keep writing into the void of time, hoping someone on the other side replies. Maybe they already have, and their words are on the way." This memory window was the curse's climax mechanism, allowing direct, though intangible, observation to foster empathy and ratchet up the suspense with the frustration of being so close yet unable to interact. The past held Femi in a gentle yet unyielding embrace, like a dream clinging stubbornly to the waking mind, his whisper cutting through the air. "I'm here. I hear you, Aduka." But she remained oblivious as his hand passed through her shoulder like smoke. Abruptly, the room dissolved into a swirling white wind that transported him to a surreal corridor shrouded in mist, where wooden doors hovered mid-air, each glowing faintly with etched years. 1934, 1952, 2001, 2050, and beyond. Urban appeared once more, his voice echoing. "You want to save her from the wind's grasp? Choose the right door wisely. But know this, some letters are better left unread, for they carry curses of their own." This convergence twisted the narrative into a choice-driven reality, where selecting a door could alter timelines, building immense suspense with the risk of wrong choices. Femi's heart raced like a drumbeat in a Yoruba festival, the corridor seeming endless with doors stretching into infinity. But one door glowed brighter than the others, a tall mahogany structure with carvings pulsing like a living heartbeat, marked not with a date, but with the name Aduka in elegant calligraphy. As the other doors began to flicker and vanish into the mist, he approached, his voice murmuring, "This is it, the way to her truth." He touched the brass handle, feeling it shift from ice-cold to warm as blood, the door creaking open not into a room but into a memory Aduka had never shared with anyone, the curse's ultimate test. The door revealed a lantern-lit river dock on the Lagos waterfront, Aduka standing alone clutching a small suitcase packed with her few possessions and dreams, her face wet with tears not of fear but of resolute determination, whispering softly into the night, "I chose to leave, not because I had to flee danger, but because the city and its people forgot how to hear my voice, my stories, my heart." A boat drifted in through the fog, and she stepped aboard, the wind rising as her messenger to carry her echoes forward. This was the moment of her vanishing, a self-chosen exile to unknown lands where she could write freely, the curse invoked to preserve her story for future generations. The twist: she had designed the curse to await a descendant like Femi for closure, ensuring her legacy lived on. Deeper into the memory, Femi witnessed the event that ignited everything. Aduka and Eben in a moonlit grove, their secret meeting where Eben, overcome by fear, said, "I cannot defy my family for us, Aduka. It would destroy everything." Heartbroken, Aduka later stood at the mailbox, whispering the incantation to Oya, "Goddess of wind, trap my pain in time, carry it to one who can hear and heal." This origin provided the cause for the curse, born from betrayal and despair, with closure in Femi's witnessing leading to understanding and forgiveness. Another layer of the memory unveiled Yemi, Aduka's 15-year-old cousin in 1952, a lanky Yoruba girl with dark skin, short braids adorned with ribbons, in a simple cotton wrapper, who had secretly followed Aduka to the mailbox and pleaded, "Aduka, sister, don't do this magic. It will curse us all." But Aduka, lost in her pain, ignored her, and Yemi vanished shortly after, trapped by proximity to the ritual. This twist introduced another trapped soul, origin in Yemi's innocent involvement, closure in her later release through Femi's actions. The corridor reappeared, but now cracked, with time fracturing. Femi saw glimpses of alternate outcomes, like Aduka marrying happily if Eben had chosen her, or her becoming a famous writer. Choose wisely or fracture everything, Eben warned. Femi chose Aduka's door, closing the fracture by accepting the true timeline. Origin in the curse's testing, closure in solidifying reality. Femi awoke drenched in sweat at his desk, an envelope in his hand sealed with fresh wax, addressed to Aduka in his own handwriting, though he had no memory of writing it. "What have I done?" he murmured quietly, reading the words that flowed like his thoughts. Apologies for the past, insights from the future, promises of closure. This was the curse's reciprocity, Femi unknowingly contributing to the loop, origin in the ritual's bidirectional flow, closure in sending the letter back. Returning to the archives, Femi searched for himself, finding a 1954 editorial. Stranger found in Yaba, claims to know vanished woman, with a faded sketch resembling him. "Have I been part of this all along?" he whispered. Twist. It was a temporal echo of his future self, origin in the curse's time loops, closure in realizing its motivation, not fact. The mailbox's final location. Under an almond tree in Freedom Park, where no box had ever stood. Femi knelt, writing, "Aduka, you were never lost, just unread. Your story lives now." The wind lifted the letter inside, box closing on its own, sealing the curse. Origin in the ritual's endpoint, closure in release. Eben appeared one last time. "You have freed us both from the wind's chains. Thank you for seeing my regret." Fading with a relieved smile, his spirit released. Origin in betrayal, closure in forgiveness. A letter from Yemi appeared. "Thank you for freeing me from the shadows. I can rest now." Her spirit, trapped as witness, released. Origin in proximity, closure in full resolution. The wind swirled gently, whispering, "The stories are told, the heart's healed." Femi felt a warmth, the curse's gratitude. Origin in Oya's power, closure in harmony. Days turned to weeks of silence. Then the wind returned one night, spiraling around Femi on a quiet road, a single page dancing at his feet. "Thank you. Now I remember my freedom." Aduka's final words, curse fully dissolved. Femi published the letters in a small Lagos gallery as a conversation across time. A young girl, 10, light brown skin, braids, school uniform, touched a frame. "Mama? Who's Aduka?" sparking new stories. Femi and Iya Bode reconciled over tea, sharing stories. "We're free from the past shadows," she said tearfully. Healing inherited wounds. A 12-year-old boy, dark skin, short hair, school shorts, found a letter in a park. The wind speaks again, hinting at cycles, but Femi's resolution ensured benign. Years later, Femi heard faint whispers, but peaceful, the wind's eternal gratitude. Stories never end. They evolve. Closure in acceptance. The mailbox never reappeared, some saying it was never there. Femi, older, still walks the alley, places a flower, smiles. Because some stories don't need endings. Only someone willing to read and remember. The wind moves on, carrying new tales. The end. Thank you for watching.